Have you ever thought about creating, personalizing, or decorating your own personal notebook? Well, guess what? In this tutorial video, we are going to be sublimating onto A5 linen notebooks, and we're going to get started right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and welcome back to another tutorial video. So glad to have you stopping in once again in this tutorial video, and my hope and prayer is that you will learn something from this video and you will take away more knowledge than you came in with, and of course that you will get value. So in this tutorial video, as I mentioned before, we are going to be sublimating onto A5 linen notepads, or what we would call notebooks. Now these are 100% polyester, the covering of these notebooks. So we are going to be sublimating on the outside of them. Then we're going to be putting the actual pages, or what we would call the pad, together as one to make your personalized A5 linen notebook or notepad. So stick around as I'm going to go over to my table, show you all the tools and the resources that I'll be using in this video, and then we're going to head over to the Silhouette Studio program where I'll be preparing the design, and then we will go over to the heat press where I'll be sublimating those notepad covers. Now, as you know how I do it on the channel here, I'm never going to leave you guys out, and I always make sure that I put all the tools, the resources, everything here on the screen. And yes, while I may show you on my table behind me, I also like to put it here on the screen so that you can take pictures, you can screenshot, you can reverse and rewind this tutorial video, pause it, and you can look back and you can say, well, yes, he used this temperature, he used this amount of cut settings, he used this amount of pressure, etc. to help you advance your knowledge and help you while you are doing your sublimation process. So I'm going to be using my Epson WF-7710 printer. This was converted into a sublimation printer. I have my tape here that we're going to be using. This is not normal tape. This is normal heat resistant tape. This is specially for heat. I'm going to be using the 125G 8.5 by 11 sub paper. Normally I use different types, but I'm going to be using this one specifically today for these notebooks here. And you see I have the two of them right here. I have my ruler, my scissors, just in case we need to measure anything, and just in case we need to cut, which most likely we will need to cut. Most of all, I will be using my HPN Signature Series 16 by 20 auto open heat press, and you're going to see that heat press very shortly when I go over to sublimate these covers. So make sure you stick around for that. And if you're interested in getting any of these items, whether it be sublimation paper, whether it be your notebooks, whether it be a printer, whether it be the HPN Signature Series heat press, just make sure to head down in the description area where you will see all of those links. Alright guys, so we are to the section where all the action happens, and that is in the Silhouette Studio program. For the back of our notepad or our notebook, we're going to be using this entire image here to fill the entire back. At the front, we're going to be using this section here where you can see the Bible text, the name of a person, and this logo. But for our second linen notepad, we're going to be using this logo and these words under with these initials here. Now I went ahead and measure the notebook itself in terms of the cover, and we are looking at around 6.1 inches in width, and when it comes to the height, we're looking like around 9 inches. Now what I went ahead and do, and what I like to do, is to always make my image or my design just a tad bigger, especially if you're covering the entire surface or area. So now what we're going to do is basically head over, put our design on our printing area. I have two little designs here that I'm going to throw on here also, and my next step now would be to make sure that my page is set up correctly. So you can go File, print page set up, and I have the Epson Workforce Service 710 selected. The paper size is 8.5 by 11, so that is good to go. We're going to head over to File and Print, and we're going to go through this process. And once we are in that area, we are going to click on Print and make sure that your printer is selected. I'm going to come down to Media and Quality, and I'm going to set my media type to high quality plain paper and the quality to best. Now when it comes to your layout area, you want to make sure that your design is flipped horizontally, and that is checked and on. And my next step will be to print. So what I'm going to do right now is to print these 3 different designs, and we're going to head over to the printer to see that process, and then we're going to get into actually putting our paper onto our notebooks and sublimating them over by the heat press. So we have our 3 images designs printed. These 2 are going to go on one note cover, and this one will go on the other. So I would have already started to trim around the edges, and I'm just going to take off some more of that excess white there. Just trim off as much as possible that I can get. Alright, so we have our 3 designs laid out here after cutting them out. And if you had a guillotine, you could have used one, or a paper cutter, you could have used one. But I like to use the scissors because it makes me feel more in control of what I cut, and it can angle certain areas. Now we're going to take the pads itself, the notepads itself, out of the notepad holders. That's one. This is another one. We put those aside, and we are going to be working with these areas here. All right, so we have here, we will consider this area here as the front, and you'll be asking me, why do you consider that as the front? I do because inside you have this strap right here that when you are ready, you can just put that strap over your book or your notepad to keep it tight and in place. All right, so we're going to work with this section here as the front, and we're going to start off with this one, this design here. So we're over here by the heat press, and as you can see, I have a piece of paper done on my heat press. So you should put piece of paper, parchment paper, or whatever you have to cover your heat press, so that any ink that bleeds off wouldn't go into your heat press, because that could affect, for example, if you have white shirts to press and you know, the ink goes into your heat press pad or your heat press cover, that can end up on a white shirt or a colored shirt. So we're going to start off with this first this one here, just with the front design. We're going to press them separately, and then I'm going to take another piece of paper and cover the image. Remember, we're using 385 Fahrenheit for 60 seconds, and I'm going to give it a nice medium pressure, and I'm going to let that sit for about 60 seconds. Then we're going to come back and do the second one, then do the review. So we're back over here by the table now. We allow our book covers and notepad covers to cool off. You can see how they look here, but I want to give you guys a closer look into it. So from this angle, hopefully you can see exactly how it does look there. And we have this one. And remember, this one is going to be folded in half, so you'll have that front there and that at the back, and you have the spine. So take a look at that. You guys can tell me down in the comment section what you think. I'm going to give you another angle now, a closer up front view so you can see. Now all that is left for us to do is to basically install our notebook here, the pad itself, into the covers. But I want to show you how the ink came off. You can see a pretty fair amount of ink did come off of this sublimation paper, so it did the job for us. Maybe I could get a little more out of it if I probably would have extended the temperature or the timing, you know. So you can just take that into note. I normally play between 385 Fahrenheit to 400 Fahrenheit for 60 seconds. So we're going to now put these here into our covers, and we're just going to install them. So there you go, guys. So we have our A5 Linen Notepads or notebooks. You've seen it from start to finish. You see the two products. These are the front, and then you have the back of them here. I think I like it without this strip here in front because I can basically see all of the design. So I'm just gonna put it like this for now. But there you go. I can see these look really nice. We can probably try to put them to stand up in a nice angle. You know, it looks really nice. Put them in the frame shot so you guys can see. You know, so I'm proud and I'm pleased with these. Now I want you to let me know down in the comment section. Communicate with me, connect with me. Let me know what you think about this process of sublimating these notepads from start to finish. Let me know if you like it. If you do like it, please make sure to like, share and subscribe. And also, I really hope that you got value from this tutorial video. I think I'm going to actually have to make one of these for myself to write my personal notes in. I really do and truly love how they look, how they feel, and of course, you just have your pad here. You open up your book and you have all of your pages to write your notes in. Yeah. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I want to thank you guys for all of your support. And remember, we make your prints and fashion come alive.